It's Dave Johal once again for Punchout Boxing. Pleased to be joined by Jack Bateson. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, anytime, mate. The last time we saw you in action was that fantastic night of boxing over in Sheffield.
Yeah.
And I kept on saying to people, look, there's two top prospects, both putting their zeros on the line for what was a good night of some British boxing. And how have you been since then?
Yeah, like you say, it was a good night of boxing. Me and SHABAZ, we both put it on the line. Unfortunately, I came out on the bad side. But it was a great night of boxing, a great learning night for me. And one that I'm confident I'll come from, and learn a lot from.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said to other colleagues in the media afterwards as well, it's great to see two unbeaten prospects do that. But secondly, as well, even afterwards, when I spoke to Shabazz in the post-fight interview, he actually said, Jack's one hell of a guy, and he's the toughest opponent that I've ever fought. He is world class. So it just goes to show, that there is life after the defeat, and there is. I mean, it's one of those sports where people can shake hands after punching each other in the face for 12 rounds, and it's brilliant to see that, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, for sure. You know what? At the end of the day, it is just boxing. It's just business. There was a bit of need. But it was a great fight. Congratulations, Baz. What's next for him? And I'm on the rebuild line now, and look forward to getting myself into big fights and back to being a champ again.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's one of those divisions as well where it's hotting up. So again, drawing comparisons on from when James DeGale and George Groves fought all those many years ago, two unbeaten prospects, both went on to win world titles.
Dave,
Yep. Did you get that? I think I lost you there for a
oh, yeah,
second.
you broke up just
Yeah.
throughout the whole last
No,
bit.
I was saying as well, it reminds me of a time as well when James DeGale and George Groves fought. Both went on different paths, both went on
Yeah,
to win world titles, even though this is at the super bantam division. It's got that sort of feeling, hasn't it, Jack?
yeah, for sure. We both believed, before the fight that it was a winnable fight for us both. At the end of the day, people are scared to put it all on the line so early, unless it's for a world title or whatever. And fair play to us both. We both went out there. We put it all on the line. Like I said, I came out on the short end, but I've learned so much from it, and hopefully in 12 months' time, I'll think, you know what. I'm glad it happened when it did, and I can guarantee, something like that will not happen again.
Absolutely. Um, so, talking about what's next for you, neither of you have fought, sorry,
Yep.
since that night in September. Um, has it been has it been a bit more difficult to make fights at the beginning of the year, or is there anything that you're setting your sights on? Because Pro Bellum, from what we know, is no more. So, is it a case of you're looking for a new um, promotional company, or how does it work, Jack?
Yeah, it has been a bit frustrating. I've been in the gym, I've been non-stop in the gym since the fight, learning. But yeah, I think it's just waiting now for a date and the right fight. That was a British title eliminator, and it would have been nice to see Shabazz go straight into a British title fight. And I'm pretty sure he's got no news as of yet. And um, I need to rebuild now, but my aim is to be back in the championship fights, sooner rather than later. I've had 18 fights. I've been pro for around 5 or 6 years, I think it is now, and um, I still want to be cracking on. That was a good fight. That was just in, but these are the sort of fights that get me motivated and get me up for training. So um, yeah, the journey is far from over for me, and I'm looking forward to getting another belt around my waist for sure.
There was a mini sort of documentary made on you when you were a kid, should we just say? The BBC came and they
Yeah.
followed you into the gym. They said, look, this kid's going to be a top prospect. When you look back at that now and reflect, do you look back and think, bloody hell, I've gone on so much, and the BBC actually predicted you to go on to these accolades? How does that make you feel?
It's crazy, you know. Even though it was so long ago, it feels like the time has just flashed by like that, and it does make me proud because I've come a long way, but I'm not where I want to be yet in terms of boxing, and I've always been my biggest critic. You know, after every fight, whether I win, you know, whether it be a knockout win or a loss, I'm my own worst critic, and I pick myself apart. But hopefully, that will pay in my favour one day. And we've got a long way to go, but we are on our way. The last one was a hurdle we've had to get over, and yeah, I'm proud, but still a long way to go.
Another person that you know very well again, Josh Warrington.
Yep.
Unfortunately, never got the win against Lara over in December. Um, and then we've got Lee Wood losing to said person again. How do you see that fight going down? Do you see, because it's only a few weeks away now, isn't it? Do you think Lee Wood can
Yeah.
get his revenge? Shall we just say it will be in Manchester this time, not in Nottingham?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not so sure. I think Lee Wood has got the beating of Lara, but Lara's got that game-changing punch. You know, you can never write him off, whether it's the last round, if he's down on points, whatever. I just had a feeling in that last fight it was just a matter of time. So he's a man you can never write off, and but Lee Wood did have the game plan perfect last time. Whether he comes with something new or it's just a rewrite of what happened, we'll see. But he's got to be switched on for every second of every minute for the full 12 rounds. And can he do that without getting caught? It's going to be really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to that, as well as the other one, Lopez and Conlon. So the featherweight division is booming at world level at the minute.
It was a horrendous night, wasn't it? That night in Leeds, because you had Josh losing to Lara. You had England get knocked out uh,
Yeah.
of the World Cup. You could see it in Eddie's face as well. It's horrible, wasn't it? I mean, whereabouts did you come in for the match? Did you watch the game?
Yes, I went. I came in into the stadium for the match, and then obviously watched Josh from ringside. And you know, Josh's fight was very, very close, very close. And you know, there was an argument that with him being the champion and being at home in Leeds, he could have got it. But it's boxing. It was what you like, what you see, and what you like. And I think him and Conlon will be very interesting. And then obviously you've got talks of whoever wins out of Lara and Wood. You know, Josh could fight the winner. There's some big fights and big nights to be had in that division for sure.
Yeah, the only sort of downer that could have been. I mean, there was no Premier League on, but just imagine that you guys got relegated as well on top. Just to,
Oh, oh,
just like
oh.
you and Josh, and then that, in England. But
No, well, the way Leeds are getting on at the minute, it's very, very shaky terms. So fingers crossed, things are going to start looking a bit more up for us, because we can't be going back down to them zones.
no, hopefully.
Oh,
Super bantamweight division, Anui Bolton. That's been pushed back now. It was originally going to be in, I believe, in April, but then it's been pushed back until end of May. I think maybe even July and June now. I can't remember the exact
yeah,
date. Um, but first off, how do you see that one going down? Because it is at super bantamweight. And secondly, as well, is Anui one to keep on climbing the ranks? Where do you see his sort of limit in terms of weight? Because some people, they can't just keep on carrying on and on, can they? In terms of weight.
I know, but he's got freakish power. I do think Fulton is a very, very good fighter. And I think he'll give Inouye the biggest problems he's had, especially with the big weight jump. But I think from what I'm hearing, he's got crazy, crazy power. So it'll be very interesting to see. Fulton is a very smart fighter, and in terms of his limit, Inouye's limit, I imagine him finishing up at featherweight, because he's not massive, and that power only takes you so far in terms of, there's a lot of big hitters out there at world level, and he might get to featherweight and people might be hitting just as hard as him, so it might not be quite as easy. But whatever weight he goes to, he's a serious fighter, and he's achieved so much in the sport in different divisions.
No, absolutely. Are you going to be watching Canelo and John Ryder this week? Are you staying up, or is it watching the morning jobby?
It'll probably be a watch in the morning jobby, just with training demands and whatnot. But all the best to John Ryder. What a guy. He's been on the end of some defeats early in his career, and look at him now. He's kept powering through, and he's at the ultimate every fighter's dream. So all the best to John Ryder. And is it the right time to catch Canelo and even get a win? So it's going to be very interesting, and I wish him all the best for sure.
It's going to be a tough night, but do you think that in order for John Ryder to win, he would have to knock out Canelo in Guadalajara in his home crowd? Is that the only way he's going to get the nod, Jack, or is it going to be another way?
Well,
hopefully he does win. Let's be honest. I do want him to
yeah.
win his belts on British soil.
Yeah, I think I can't see John Ryder knocking Canelo out, but like you said, if it does go to points, it's more than likely going to be a Canelo victory. But you just don't know in boxing these days. Like we were talking about with Lopez and Warrington, you'd imagine in Leeds that the champion would have retained his title, but sometimes you just don't know in boxing, and it depends who's sat ringside. So listen, anything can happen these days in the sport. So all the best to John, and he's got he's where every fighter dreams of being from a young kid. So fair play.
Yeah, let's be honest. I mean, if someone said to you, right, okay, in a few years' time you'll be fighting a Nui, you take it, wouldn't you? Because it's progression, it's level, it's what you guys get into the game for. It's climb the ladder.
Sure. Yeah, that's the ultimate dream, to be in these sort of fights. As a kid, wanting to be a boxer, that's what you grow up aiming to do. And if the opportunity came, if someone got on the phone to me and said, right, you can fight a Nui next week, it'll be in Vegas, whatever, I'd be silly to say no. It's just these opportunities don't come around every day. So when they come, you've got to take them. And it's a fighter's job to be ready at all times. And if it is your full-time job, you should be in the gym all the time. So yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Jack, just before we wrap things up, is there anything you want to plug, or any shout outs to your promoters? Sorry, your sponsors?
Yeah, no, just a massive thank you to everyone. Obviously since the last fight, obviously I got defeated, but everyone has stayed behind me, supported me, and my sponsors, who I can't thank enough. Especially Jason Heselden, Hugh Boyle, Mackenzie Stewart, Darren Lung. I can't thank my supporters and sponsors enough, and I guarantee and I promise that I will be champion again.
Yeah, just from myself as well. That night, everyone had it going in as a 50-50. They couldn't decide between you guys, and from myself and also my colleagues in the media, one person unfortunately had to lose, one person won, but we were so grateful the fact that both parties shook hands and cracked on, and there was no animosity afterwards. Where sometimes you do see that needle continue for no reason as well, but it was sportsmanlike. I think the only bad thing about that night was the crowd fighting, if you remember that.
Yeah,
didn't it? At one point, it was horrible.
Oh, I know. I remember being backstage before, thinking, "Am I even going to be able to fight? Is the show going to get called off?" But like you say, listen, for every winner, there's got to be a loser. Unfortunately, that was me that day, and it is just boxing, and it's a special sport we're in, and just can't wait for the next one now.
Brilliant, Jack. All the best, mate. From Punchout Boxing, we'll be there soon. Let us know when your next fight date is, and we'll be in attendance, mate.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.